Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I hope you are doing well. Markets are pulling back today as Walmart issued guidance that was weaker than many investors hoped for, which caused doubt regarding the health of the economy. Now, yesterday, you'll recall that the Fed put out their meeting minutes, and in them, they mentioned that, hey, the economy is doing fine. Everything's fine. The only thing that we're concerned about is inflation. Walmart today is casting doubt on that position and saying, oh, actually, the economy may not be as fine as expected, or some may think. And therefore, we are in a precarious situation where it does appear that we can expect a lot of chop in the market for the upcoming period. That is, I don't think we're going to go up a lot or down a lot in this upcoming period. That's my base case. And the reason for that is that going in either direction in a big way will trigger something that stunts movement in that direction. So if we go up a lot, this is probably a function of an overheating economy. And because monetary policy is what it is, I don't think that we're going to get a a change in monetary policy, a cut in interest rates without the economy slowing. And so, if we're going up a lot, that's going to trigger fears with regards to overheating and inflation creeping up again. If we go down a lot, that's probably a function of the economy actually slowing down. I'm talking about markets here. If markets are going down, that means the economy is probably slowing down. And therefore, this is going to raise the probability of an interest rate cut. And that should stunt some of the downward movement. Although, obviously, with leverage, you can overshoot on the upside or the downside, but leverage is quickly flushed out of the system and things go back to where they naturally should be. So I do think that we're headed towards a market in the next few weeks, months perhaps, that is kind of choppy and not really going up or down a lot. And this is a great market for traders. So if we are range bound, this is a great market for people who like to trim above certain prices, add below certain prices. That's why we have our watch list. By the way, leave a like if you enjoy these lives. And if you want to watch our watch list and our portfolios, then do become a member. So the headline today was the Dow tumbled 500 points, S&P 500 retreated from record as Walmart forecast raised concern about earnings. If we look at the details here in terms of the indices, everything's in the red except for our volatility index, which is up 3%. The fear index in the market is up. That tracks with the movement of the indices being backwards. And if we look at some of the major names that we've mentioned on this live in recent history, they're all in the red. Tesla, Bitdeer, Iron, Intel, Taiwan Semiconductors, Broadcom. Palantir is down 7% after investors figured out that, yeah, this was overvalued, as I told you guys 1 week ago. And then Walmart was also down 6% today as it issued some pretty weak guidance. Gold is one of the few assets that is continuing to do well. It is at 2,900. Bitcoin is also doing well. It is at 98,000. We'll look at floors and ceilings for that asset. Dogecoin is at 25 cents and Solana is at 174. Let me tell you about floors and ceilings, near-term floors and ceilings for Bitcoin based on the leverage that are on exchanges. So I have the most leverage at around 99,000, which is very close to where we are right now. That is for the shorts. And we do have more longs than shorts right now. And the longs have formed somewhat of a floor at 95,000. Well, actually call it 96,000. So we have 96,000, 99,000 is the near-term floor and ceiling. Obviously, reaching any of them will cause a big movement um, in that direction. So 99,000 will probably get us above 100,000 because of the liquidations that would happen. 96,000 would get us below that because of the liquidations that would happen there. But this picture changes very frequently. This is just a snapshot of where things stand right now. Now, in terms of one of our biggest positions, Tesla. So Tesla's looking to open a factory in India, and I actually don't think that's the right choice. I understand the logic behind it, but I don't think that's the right choice. The Indian market is not what Tesla naturally caters to, and so I actually think something like Indonesia or Malaysia would be a much better choice. And Trump is not happy about Elon Musk considering India. Trump warns Elon Musk building a Tesla factory in India would be very unfair to his administration. So perhaps there is trouble in paradise in that marriage. And in other news, we mentioned yesterday Microsoft Quantum Chip and its threat on Bitcoin, or possible threat on Bitcoin. And already today there is a Bitcoin improvement plan, BIP 360, to introduce quantum resistance into the Bitcoin network. Obviously, Bitcoin improvement proposal. So it's still a proposal. It's yet to be adopted, but it shows you that there is some dynamism to the Bitcoin network, and it should be able to adapt, especially considering there is still years before I think quantum computing becomes a risk to the Bitcoin network. And final confirmation of what I've been saying on this channel, and something that I think is a good reminder. Coinbase CEO says Bitcoin is somewhat of a meme coin. I've said that before on this channel, and it's because it's the truth. Now, obviously, Bitcoin maximalists were not really happy about that, but trust me, Bitcoin and all of crypto is just meme coins. That is, they don't have any intrinsic value beyond people's implicit agreement to use them for whatever purpose. And so that's a fact that you need to keep in mind when you're investing in crypto. And that's why you should never invest. I don't care what the crypto is, you should never invest anything that you're not comfortable losing. This is very high risk. I do believe that there is obviously some merit to Bitcoin, and that's why I am invested in it. But the fact of the matter remains that the value of Bitcoin is in the network of people that have trust in it. And that's it. And therefore, in terms of value of this particular asset, it is a function of the level of trust in it, which can fluctuate a lot and isn't necessarily tied to anything, material. That investors, because I've heard, some investors say, "Oh, we just put everything in Bitcoin and forget about it." I actually don't think that's a good approach. I think the rules of investing are what they are, and you should not put all your eggs in one basket, and that's why we haven't done so. Yes, in the past, this has turned out to be a very good policy. That is, the Bitcoin returns have been quite exceptional, and I do see them as continuing to be quite exceptional for the foreseeable future. But to just attach your entire financial well-being to this one asset, I think, is risky, and it's important to remember, where its value comes from. Now, this is not to say that Bitcoin is anything different than other currencies. I think you could, or fiat currencies, or other stores of value, even gold, in terms of actual usage, very limited. And certainly the contribution of its actual usage to its price is actually quite small. The price of gold is a function of people trusting that its price will maintain and increase over time. That's really the value that gold provides. And it has had a track record of doing so thousands of years, and that's what makes it valuable. So, this is not really, I'm not saying this is different in terms of Bitcoin's claim to value, is not different than other stores of values claim to value, or other fiat currencies claim to value, but it is something that people should actually fully understand and not get confused. So that's just my 2 cents there. Short live today. Salam Fawaz, nice to see you. Why am I not invested in ETH? You must be new here, Fawaz. I actually I hate Ethereum. Not because the people behind Ethereum, I have anything against them, but if you've ever used Ethereum, I think you can sympathize. It's just technological abomination. It stinks. Every time I use Ethereum, I'm like, why am I going through this? There are so many other ways to do this that are much better and cheaper. So that's why I'm not invested in Ethereum, because every time I use it, it's like, why does this even exist? This stinks. So yeah. Baba is a Chinese company, very close ties to the Chinese government. I'm uncomfortable with it. San, no, I would never sell everything and wait for dips. That is a very risky approach, and you risk the market getting away from you, and a lot of money is lost. I think that having some cash is always a good idea, but selling everything, you really risk blowing up your investing efforts. Is it a wise move to sell some Tesla to buy dips? I would actually be more inclined to buy Tesla at these prices than sell it. If you look at our buy below price, Brother Abdullah, you'll see confirmation of that. Riham says, Salam, what are your thoughts on CLSK future? It's not top 2 in my Bitcoin miners. My top 2, as you know, Riham, are Iron and Bitdeer, so that's where my money is. Eunice says, do you think Plan B's method of taking profits in between halvings followed by reinvestment 6 months before halving is a good idea? Yeah, actually, I do. I think that's a good, and it has proven, at least historically, to be a good approach. So, following that, I think taking profits Q3 or Q4, depending on when the euphoria stage kicks in. Q3 or Q4 of this year, taking profits, rotating into something like Tesla would make a lot of sense, I think. Mariam says, thoughts on Bitdeer's recent fall? I think it's a buy opportunity, to be honest, not financial advice, but there's no reason for its fall beyond Bitcoin's weakness. Perhaps it is forecasting a dip in Bitcoin that is upcoming, but in terms of the business itself, I don't see any reason to sell. And I really like their aggressive approach and innovative style and their management. So yeah, that's my answer. How to invest 10K? Well, if you're not a PIF member, become a PIF member. That's what our membership is for. You can get inspiration from the things that we do. Obviously, not financial advice, but you'll at least see what we're investing in and get and perhaps get inspiration there. And you can also connect with a community of highly intelligent PIF members that are discussing the markets every day. I did send my comments on Piedmont to PIF members. My detailed comments along with my updated price targets. I will tell you that the report was a very good one. I think the operations of Piedmont have been excellent, and they've managed to weather the downturn in the lithium market. And this is a cyclical market. It always has been. And I believe that the worst is probably behind us with lithium. Thanks, Mariam. Appreciate you tuning in. Wayakum, brother native. It's nice to see you as always. Leave a like if you enjoyed this live. Until next time, make sure to take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum and peace be upon you.